The courtroom was silent except for the hum of whispered judgment. Taehyung stood tall in a navy suit beside Jungkook, who held Jiho's hand tightly. His eyes scanned the room filled with reporters, lawyers, and his mother sitting smugly across the aisle, eyes cold and victorious. "She's not just fighting our marriage," Taehyung whispered to Jungkook. "She's trying to erase Jiho too." Jungkook's jaw clenched. "Let her try." Testimonies began. "I didn't marry Jungkook for wealth," Taehyung said clearly, addressing the judge. "I married him because he was everything I was too proud to want. And Jiho, he gave me a reason to stay when I could have left." Taehyung's mother's lawyer stood. "Mr. Kim, isn't it true that you were forced into this marriage as part of a family agreement?" "Yes," Taehyung admitted. "But love doesn't always arrive before the commitment. Sometimes it grows in the quiet moments, in Lego towers and bedtime stories." Gasps rippled through the courtroom. Jungkook reached over and held his hand beneath the table. Later in the hallway, Taehyung sat on the bench, head in his hands. Jungkook stood beside him, Jiho asleep against his shoulder. "I'm scared," Taehyung whispered. "That you'll win." Jungkook turned to him. "She won't. Because this," he reached down and pressed Taehyung's hand over Jiho's heart, "isn't just a marriage anymore. It's a family. And no court can undo that." Back in the courtroom, Jungkook was called to speak. He stepped forward, voice steady despite the fear clawing in his chest. "When I lost Jiho's biological mother, I thought I'd never feel safe again. But Taehyung, he didn't just love me. He showed up every single day, even when I pushed him away." He looked directly at Taehyung's mother. "You can keep your name. Keep your legacy. We don't need it. But you can't rewrite what Jiho calls home." The judge's words. "We will reconvene for the final decision in 3 days. The gavel struck. The tension didn't ease. But something in Taehyung's chest did. Because this time, he hadn't run. The court was packed again. Cameras waited outside. The world held its breath. Jiho sat between Jungkook and Taehyung, holding both their pinkies like lifelines. His drawing, a family of 3 under a giant sun, peeked from Jungkook's pocket. Taehyung glanced at Jungkook. "No matter what happens, I won't leave." Jungkook's voice was rough. "I know." The judge cleared her throat. After reviewing all evidence, testimonies, and the emotional welfare of the minor child involved, every breath in the room paused. "I find that there's no justifiable reason to interfere in the custody or guardianship rights of Mr. Jian Jungkook or his legal spouse, Mr. Kim." Taehyung gasps. Reporters swarmed. Questions flew. Flashes lit up the sky. But inside Jungkook's mind, it was quiet. Taehyung had knelt down to hug Jiho, who laughed and threw his arms around his neck. Jungkook watched, heart hammering, throat tight. He stepped forward, and without warning, pulled Taehyung into a hug. A real one. No cameras. No performance. Just Jungkook's arms around Taehyung's waist, his face buried in his shoulder. Taehyung froze for a heartbeat, then melted into it. "I wanted to kiss you in there," Jungkook admitted quietly. Taehyung looked up. "Then do it now." Their lips met, soft but desperate, not just about passion, but relief. Belonging. Home. Cheers and camera clicks erupted around them, but neither of them noticed. That night Jiho was fast asleep in his room. Jungkook and Taehyung stood in the living room, bare feet brushing against the rug. "You were amazing," Jungkook whispered. "I just told the truth. I'm not good at feelings," Jungkook said. Taehyung smiled sadly. I never asked you to be. I know, Jungkook said, voice trembling. But I want to be. For you. Taehyung's eyes softened, and he reached out, brushing Jungkook's cheek. Then don't say it. Show me. And Jungkook, with every slow touch, every whispered apology, every soft gasp in the quiet of the night. Not rushed, not forced, but finally real. The morning sun filtered in softly, golden and warm. Jungkook stirred awake first, his head on Taehyung's chest, their legs tangled under the sheets. For once, he didn't feel the need to move quickly or explain anything. It felt right. Like this was how it should have always been. He looked up at Taehyung, still asleep, lashes brushing against his cheekbones. Stay, Jungkook whispered, not realizing the word had left his lips. I plan to, Taehyung murmured, voice low and sleep rough. Jungkook blinked. You heard that? Taehyung smiled, eyes still closed. I hear everything when it's from you. In the kitchen, Jiho stood on a stool, helping Taehyung make pancakes. Jungkook watched from the doorway, heart full, chest warm. Appa, Jiho called. Papa Tai says I'm the best pancake flipper you are, Jungkook grinned. You get that from me? Taehyung raised a brow. Oh, really? Jungkook walked over, stole a kiss from Taehyung's cheek, and whispered, and the sweetness? That's all you, Jiho gagged dramatically. Taehyung laughed. Get used to it, kiddo. Your dad's a romantic now. Later that day they took Jiho to the park. Families stared, some with curiosity, some with warmth. But Jungkook no longer felt the need to explain or apologize. Taehyung's hand in his was enough. They sat on a bench, watching Jiho play. You ever think, Jungkook started, that all of this began because our parents arranged it? Taehyung hummed. But we chose to stay, Jungkook nodded. Yeah. And I'm finally not afraid of that choice. That night Taehyung found Jungkook on the balcony, eyes cast to the stars. Come here, Taehyung said, opening his arms. Jungkook leaned in. I love you. Taehyung froze, just for a breath. Then, quietly, say it again. I love you, Jungkook whispered, forehead resting against his. And I think I've been falling for a while. Taehyung smiled, eyes glassy. Then let's fall all the way. The envelope came in the mail with no return address. Jungkook almost threw it out, thinking it was junk. But when he opened it, just out of curiosity, his hands froze mid-motion. The handwriting was familiar. Painfully familiar. To Jian Jungkook, I hope you're well. If you're reading this, it means I've been gone a long time. But I never stopped thinking about Jiho, or you. His knees buttered. He sat on the couch, letter trembling in his hands. Taehyung walked in moments later, pausing when he saw Jungkook's expression. Kook asked softly. What's wrong? Jungkook held out the letter. It's from her. Taehyung read it slowly, silently. His jaw clenched. I was never ready to be a mother. But I regret leaving every day. If Jiho ever wants to find me, tell him I'll be waiting. Silence stretched between them like a crack in glass. Later that night Taehyung found Jungkook sitting on Jiho's bed, watching him sleep. Do we tell him? Jungkook whispered. Do we pretend she never existed? Taehyung walked over, kneeling beside him. We don't lie. But we protect him. Always, Jungkook nodded, tears filling his eyes. I hate her for leaving, and for making me feel like maybe I wasn't enough. Taehyung placed a hand over his. You are. And now here's both of us. The next morning Jiho padded into the kitchen in his dinosaur pajamas. Papa Tae, Appa, he said sleepily, rubbing his eyes. Did you read my letter? Taehyung blinked. Your letter? Jiho grinned and pointed to the fridge, a crayon-scrawled note taped beside his drawing. Dear Appa and Papa Tae, I love you both. Can we be a family forever? Check yes or yes. Jungkook laughed wetly through his tears. Taehyung pulled Jiho into a hug so tight, he squeaked. Yes, Taehyung whispered. A million times, yes.